All right, Steve, we're going to play a game here.
I like games.
This is a video. Obviously, it's rated to wrestling, but you don't know what this is about. I do.
Okay.
This was posted today, but I want you to guess, give me your opinion on it and what it could be for. I have cropped out some aspects of it that will give it away.
Okay.
Some of you out there have seen this video already. It's on YouTube, and I'm sure I'll link it into the post of, if you're not on the thisisawesamewrestlingshow.com, the video will be posted, a link to it, the actual promo for it. And this is a video that gives, well, I'll just let you watch it. But so here we go.
The only games I don't like are games with my heart.
And we are going, I'm turning up. So
you want me to tell everybody what's happening in this video? We've got two bugs humping.
Okay. So what does it say? It says
spring is in the air.
So it said spring is in the air.
And everybody wants some action.
Okay, so far we have two Ladybugs.
Yeah.
Going at it on a leaf.
Spring is in the air. Everybody wants some action.
So basically it's saying everybody wants to get down.
Yeah.
And get some.
Is this
So here we go. Now as of right now, Steve, what do you think this is for?
I feel like it's going to be a swerve and this is somebody's like promotion for the springtime.
This is okay, I'm going to give you a hint now. This is a WWE production.
That's kind of what I thought.
Okay. So any guesses?
Is this for Payback or their next? What's their one after that? Extreme Rules.
Keep watching. But there is no better.
Live action. No better action than live action.
Yeah. The promo for Extreme Rules.
That's what I just said. I said Payback or Extreme Rules.
But why would they have two Ladybugs going at it? I mean, this makes no sense. And are we supposed to be PG now?
Well, that's why it's two Ladybugs. You can't see their parts.
Well, but come on. We know what he's doing.
We don't even know that that's how they mate.
Come on. You see it right down there. You see it going in.
That's his tail or something.
No, that's not a tail. That's a ding-a-ling.
No better action
than WWE.
I mean,
I don't
why
get it.
Why don't they? It doesn't mean then Extreme Rules. They should say, at least say no better action than Extreme or live action. I don't know.
When we think Extreme, Steve, we think of ECW.
Yeah.
And now instead of promoting guys throwing through tables, which they do, but Extreme now is two Ladybugs going out on a leaf, and your springtime is in the air. I don't get it.
That's not. Yeah, that's a different kind of action.
I
mean, maybe for a rated R Edge and Lita sex show,
but not for a PG environment.
No, not even for a pay-per-view. So,
Steve, you are in the marketing world.
Yeah.
If you are looking at this promo, if someone came into you and said, "Okay, we have a product. Guys going ladders. It's extreme. It's no rules. We're gonna have 2 Ladybugs going at it."
Yeah, this is one of those where it's effective, right? It's effective in the sense that it's memorable, but not effective that you can remember what it's for.
If your target,
which is a problem.
If your target audience is from age 8 until 8, well, they want kids, so 8 to 14. Do you want to show this promo to them?
No, yeah, they're not even going to get it. It's not even going to be funny to them.
If you're an adult, would you want your kids watching this promo?
No. I mean, this is clearly an adult-oriented promo.
Do you think Shane McMahon, since he is running Raw now, should be in charge of this and
maybe he is
get fired and get fired because of this? Here comes the money shot.
Oh, that's good.
You like that?
That would have been good.
All right, that ends our little segment here. We'll call this Playing Games with Steve. How about that?
That sounds weird.
This promo is weird.
Yep.
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
Welcome to this week's episode of This Is Awesome Wrestling Show on thisisawesamewrestlingshow.com. Episode number 80, 80 in the books here. We have
among the most loyal and faithful of my fireflies, man. When I look out, man, it's your lights that shine the brightest among all the fireflies. You told a story, man, that I wasn't expecting to ever be told. And JTG, he can tweet if he wants to and tell it in his book, but man, you guys made it take off. I appreciate you, my brothers. I always love coming back to This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. You got any questions about this story, man?
Bray, this is a pleasant surprise. Didn't expect you were going to talk about your story on the show, but didn't think you'd make a surprise appearance. Thank you for turning the lights off, by the way, and bringing your light into the studio.
I am the eater of worlds, man, and your world just keeps on growing. This is Awesome Wrestling Show.
I think Steve had to go to the bathroom. Steve always misses the good interviews.
I noticed that, man. I listen all the time.
Bray, how are you feeling? Are you hurt?
My leg's a little. Don't you be worried about that, though, man. Because my family's gonna take care of everything still. We're gonna be all right.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We appreciate the retweet, and we know you don't tweet much. Must be hard cell phone coverage out where you live.
I'll tell you why I don't tweet much, man. Because on Twitter, all you have are followers. And I don't have followers, man. No, man. All I have are my brothers and my sisters. It makes no sense for me to be on Twitter.
We do appreciate the love, and thanks for shutting their website down for a day because it brought so much traffic. Really appreciate it.
You might say that your website was eaten by the eater of World Wide Web.
All right, special guest out of the blue, out of the dark, Bray Wyatt coming on the show. And Steve coming in here. Steve,
Hey, did you record the intro yet?
I was in my little spiel.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we are. But I was in my little spiel, and we had a special guest.
Ooh, I was gone for
You were in the bathroom, and the lights turned
3
out.
minutes.
It got smoky in here. Lights turned out, and Bray Wyatt
Stop
came.
it.
Swear, dude.
I thought you were being a dick, and you turned the lights out
No.
on me while I was peeing.
No, so Bray Wyatt came, and I thanked him for giving us a little website plug for the retweet, and he said something blah 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 about us being the light of. I have no clue. I wasn't really.
Did Chris Clem, host of a C4 Cavs podcast, jump in on this interview for me too?
No, he did
Booker
not.
T?
No, not like our Seth Rollins, where you literally show up during the last breath of Seth Rollins on the phone, which was almost 2 years ago. But
yeah,
So well, thanks.
Just flat out missed it.
Just flat out missed it. So at least you've been around for the Terry HH stuff. At least you've been for that.
That's true. I've been able to sit in on those.
You've
That's
been in
good.
those, yeah. All right. Like I said, this is Awesome Wrestling Show. Before I was pleasantly interrupted, this is AwesomeWrestlingShow.com. 80 episodes. We are 20 away from 100.
Woo!
Got a special surprise for Steve when we hit 100.
Makes me nervous.
Very special surprise for episode 100.
Are you saving Scott Steiner for my 100th episode? Like you already have it set up?
No, I will
Okay.
admit. I will be honest with you. It's not Scott Steiner.
Okay.
I obviously have. I have forgotten about it right now. I have it written down somewhere. It's in my notes in my laptop.
You have the 100th surprise?
I have the 100th episode.
Written down.
So I know there is a surprise. let me look. I seriously looking.
You
Okay.
couldn't contain Scott Steiner, I don't think.
No, we will. No,
That'd be you would have to be it. And his Shonies.
that would be great. But no, it's not Scott Steiner. But we do have a 100th episode. We'll do some fun stuff. That's 20 weeks away. So I mean, that's basically 5 months away. So
Yeah.
right around September, end of September will be episode 100. So episode 80 here, and really appreciate everybody tuning in to our Booker T interview from last week, getting some major traffic on the website. And our website is blown up not only for our show, but for our posts like we said before, Bray Wyatt, story about him. Basically, there is a chapter in JTG's new book about Bray Wyatt, who is really Wyndham Rotunda, his name.
Yeah.
They're on the road together, driving. The car is swerving in and out, almost cuts off the car ahead of them, and goes off into crashes, flips over, and Bray pulls over the car, pulls the two teenagers out, and leaves before the cops come. Doesn't really want to be recognized for it. Doesn't want to brag about it. But it was in JTG's new book. I saw it floating around Twitter. Wasn't really picking up any traction. Didn't really think anything of it. Just thought it'd be a nice post because we kind of like Bray Wyatt. Posted it and sent a tweet out with tagging Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt retweeted it. And he doesn't tweet out much, so getting a retweet from him has to be pretty darn special. So so we've been our website shut down for a day, and had to go through our server host and try to get that squared away. But our Scott Steiner 2 stories we posted last week as well has gotten some traction. So we not only post our shows, but we post some, not all wrestling news. We don't post spoilers or recaps, but if something is very, very unique and we think that people will like, we'll
Fun
post
stuff,
it.
Yeah.
I'll post it.
Yeah.
Steve has yet to post anything.
That's right. I got to work on this.
Steve's
got other things going on. You know what I like about the Bray Wyatt story?
Yeah.
As you know, because you've known me for a little while now, I appreciate people doing good things for the sake of doing good things.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who's famous and could receive all this recognition, but he's just like, you know what? No, man, like this is the right thing to do. These people could die.
You mean Bray Wyatt should have taken a photo of him pulling these people?
No, which is what JTG said too. Like JTG shared those same sentiments. Like when you read that, he's like, he didn't do it, and that's he's like, people would be taking selfies. Oh, look at me next to this car that I just it's about to blow up.
Throwing some hashtags.
Yeah, he didn't do any of that, and I agree with JTG. I think that's excellent.
I know. I know what.
But isn't it? Well, no, I know you think you know where I'm going with this, but.
I know you're not going to say it.
No, but
I
here's
think you and I both know.
Here's what's also weird is that two things come to my mind with that. One, do you think he doesn't do it because at the time he was so much a heel that it ruins kayfabe, and he is in that old school mentality because of his grandfather?
I can see that.
And he's like, oh no, I can't ruin my kayfabe.
But I think it was more too. JTD mentioned that he's
just that guy.
They were late to an event. They were trying to get to the event, and with the cops coming and everything, that it would have delayed them further.
Yeah, that's true. And then, but what a stark contrast from but even John Cena, who does WWE. I guess the question is, did WWE know about this at the time? Because there's somebody that really likes to pump John Cena doing all the charity work, and anybody doing the charity work. Let's look at Titus O'Neil at this point, even though he's been suspended. But did they really know? Because I feel like they would have grabbed this story. It's almost like the machine of WWE. Any chance they can get to paint their superstars in a positive light, they do.
I mean, I don't think they would have. What do you? I mean, it's not Bray Wyatt doing it. It's Wyndham Rotunda. It's the guy.
Because it's not the character doing it. Yeah.
But I think Bray didn't. Obviously they're running to an event. They didn't want to be late, and. Could be that old school heel mentality too, but either way, it's a great story.
It is. It's an excellent story. Good for him.
Yeah, it's great. So you don't have to put hashtags on stuff. And
no, it was very, very cool. Very cool story to read.
There's a backstory to this conversation, I believe.
It's fine.
Come on, Steve. There is.
No.
You got to do some yard work and.
Juan Cena is what the backstory is.
Blank some leaves.
You're gone too far.
Have I gone too far with this?
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
No one knows.
So what else is happening in the wrestling
world
world
plenty
today?
of news to get into, and I had an introduction for you, Steve, because this tagline seems to be Roman Reigns' new, gimmick. I was going to say, my co-host today is Steve, not a good, not a bad, but he is the guy.
That's
there
right.
Like that?
I am Steve, the guy, yeah.
The guy, yeah. But yeah, plenty of stuff to get into this week, and obviously we'll hit on Raw, a tidbit. I didn't watch it. I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch it because it's taped. Read the spoilers. I watched the YouTube clips while it was happening. So obviously it's a Raw in London.
Yeah, I watched it. They love Enzo and Cass.
Oh yeah, there's a marquee crowd, so
yeah,
they're going to mark out for Bullet Club. They're going to mark out for Styles. They're going to mark out for Enzo and Cass. They're going to mark out for basically the people.
They went crazy for the Usos.
Well,
that's
Uso
not true.
crazy.
I don't think they did.
They didn't go Uso crazy.
No, they didn't.
I don't think so.
They didn't really. Not a big deal for vaudevillains, I don't think.
They're still new.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah,
they're going to mark out for the big. No, not everybody. But I did like they're teasing the Bullet Club reunion. Not sure if it's going to go that route. If it's going to go later on. If they're going to have Styles and then Finn come up, they're going to actually make it a complete group. We're going to have Gallows and Anderson go against Styles. I mean, there's
yeah. What do you think right now? Because I could see this going either way. Like, it would be cool to bring Finn up, and then like all four of them are part of this huge faction.
Yeah. But
I think that Finn and Styles solo is I don't know, too much of a draw as individuals. But I could see Gallows and Anderson going against Styles at Payback, costing him the match, and then like it's this whole feud between Styles and Finn Balor. That would be cool.
Listen, I'm not really excited for this whole club thing.
No, you don't like clubs?
I mean, I do love factions. I love a good faction.
Yeah.
And I do, Styles is a great wrestler. He's terrible on the mic. He's just really no charisma from this guy.
Do you think the accent hurts him sometimes?
No, it's just that damn mullet and those facial expressions. It just when he came out to talk with Reigns, and I watched the clip on YouTube, it just doesn't have it. And Gallows has been here before, and he didn't pan out. And Anderson, they're a great tag team. I get it. They do a cool finisher. Magic Mike, whatever they call it, Killer Mike.
I don't think they call it Magic Mike.
What's it called?
I don't remember. They called it something else.
Killer Microphone? Killer Mike? I think it's called Killer Mike. No,
I don't know. I didn't
Killer
think that's
Mike's
what they called.
rapper.
I didn't think that's what Michael Cole called it. He called it something else. I think he may
Magic
have rebranded it for this.
Is it Magic Mike? No.
It's not Magic Mike.
I'm trying to figure it out what their finisher is.
Yeah, they rip off their shirts and pants and do a tease for everybody. It's called the Magic Mike.
Is it called the Flying Biscuit? It's called Magic Killer.
Magic Killer.
Samsonite. Way off.
Way off. I thought Michael Cole called it something else.
I think it's called Magic Killer.
Okay.
I think it's just an aided snap swinging net breaker. I mean, come on. Can you make something a little bit cooler than that?
I mean, it's a fun time. You put two guys, I don't know, whatever. What about the Whirly Dervish? There's not much to that.
That's even worse.
It is.
Okay. All right. So I'm not really excited just because of the fact that I don't trust WWE in giving them the proper maybe opponents or proper storyline writing to make this effective. And I think if you do this, you need a real bona fide charismatic leader. I want to say face because I'm not talking about good or bad. I'm talking about the face of the group. And Styles is not it because he's not good on the mic. Gallows and Anderson are more of the henchmen.
Maybe it's Shane McMahon.
But even Shane is like, no, because he has to be a wrestler. This has to be like an NWO. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the legitimacy of NWO because obviously that's totally different.
No, right.
I'm talking about someone that is going to be the face, that is the Nation of Domination. It was Farouk and The Rock. And then you had DX, Triple H. You had these guys that leader of the group, they were speaking. You had a guy that was the face. You had the guy that was the main guy of the group. And like I said, these reviewing, it's Finn has no character. He has no charisma.
No, even back to New Japan, it wasn't like he was a speaking character. His character was everybody fell in love with kind of his get up. I don't know what you want to call it. Whatever his attire to the ring.
And Finn Balor, okay, he's a great wrestler. Get it. He's loved, internet darling, loved all over the world. But I don't get this whole Finn Balor club because he is not a leader kind of guy. He's not a guy that is going to grab the mic. he literally looks like, if he doesn't have his demon stuff on him, looks like a guy that is the generic wrestler in WWE 2K16. He's not good on the mic. The accent kills him, I think, too. But the whole demon thing, is he going to really? I mean, if he dresses like a demon, how does that fit with Gallows, Anderson?
Well, I don't think
Styles?
he would dress like a demon with them.
Then that hurts him too, because the demon's cool,
and they've already spent so much time building that.
Yeah, it's like, why would he then go towards a group and every day going to come out dressed as a demon? No, but generically, he's nothing really special on the mic.
In fairness, look, I didn't get to watch a ton of them all together in New Japan and promos and things.
But here's the thing, though. In New Japan, it's not about promos. It's about wrestling.
It's about wrestling.
So the wrestling spoke from themselves. They were a group.
That was their charisma. But maybe these guys bring something out of each other that we haven't seen from them yet. I'm willing to give an opportunity to them, but I think I'm kind of like with you, where I'm like, do I really trust that WWE is going to do the right thing here?
And they got to be bad guys.
Do it properly.
They got to be bad guys.
Right, which is good that they attacked Roman Reigns yesterday for no reason. That was fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is this? I mean, who is going to be their counterparts? Who are they going to go against?
Yeah,
Big Match John.
Not the
John
League of
Cena?
Nations.
No, I mean, who's going to be their? It has to be a major.
There's no major faction right now. Is the problem? I mean, the Wyatts.
No, they're not. They're not major.
But that's your largest faction.
It has to be involved with the title picture, and Reigns. Maybe this is your Shield 2.0.
Could be. It could be the Shield reunion to take on the Bullet Club. I would freak out.
But even that though is you have 3 against 4. It has to be even. And but why?
You're assuming that you're bringing up Finn Balor to join them.
Yeah, and I think we are thinking about this way too much.
Probably.
And giving WWE way too much credit of storyline booking for 3-4 months in advance, because Rollins isn't healthy yet. He's still with a brace. Dean is doing his own thing too. He's not really in the title picture. He's working with Jericho. And Reigns, and obviously fighting Styles. And these guys haven't even got, who knows if they're going to be a group. So, I mean, logic says, okay, it's going to happen, but then again, maybe they won't. Maybe they will go against Styles, and that's easier to do. And maybe you have Balor with Gallows and Anderson, and then you have Balor versus Styles throughout the summer.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking. That would be great. That'd be fun.
I mean, we're fantasy booking, and I know this show is about fantasy booking, but then again, it gets kind of like, okay, are we wasting our breath because we don't know what's going to happen?
We don't want to get too excited over it.
I mean, you're over there with a heart on, but I mean,
I'm like, oh man, Shield. Well, you said Shield 2.0. I was like, what? Because the Bullet Club, great.
But Rollins is still months away from coming back, and he's going to be white hot when he comes back too.
Unless Roman Reigns then teams with Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H supposed to come back next week too. So.
Right, and Randy Orton coming back eventually here.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, who knows what's going to happen? We'll see. But I mean, they are planting the seed when it comes to a possible Styles and Bullet Club, and they are treating Bullet Club. So maybe they will be. Maybe the WB shells some money out for the name. I mean, who knows?
It'll be interesting. This is one to keep your eye on. Doing it wrong would be to run this for like a month and then just be done with it, or only to SummerSlam and then be done with it.
Someone gets hurt.
Well, sure, but okay.
Bray Wyatt.
If everybody is healthy, though, do you agree that this needs to go beyond SummerSlam? If you're really going to invest your time into this whole Bullet Club concept, this needs to be a legitimate thing. The Shield was together for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, but it's easy to book. I mean, they were a faction, but they were more, triple threat. It's easier to do that than to find 3 random guys to go against them. If you're the Bullet Club, and who knows, maybe they'll have some more guys come in. Maybe it'll be like an NWO, and you'll have other guys come in. Why does it have to be just Styles and the regular Bullet Club?
Sure.
So I mean, who knows? It's just these guys. It has to be against Reigns, and something has to happen to where either they turn on Styles, but then why would they team with Reigns? And that where Reigns goes to Triple H, but why would he do that? Because then he's been for over a year and a half against the machine. It's
Yeah.
something drastic has to happen for this to work.
Right, I agree.
So they're just really they're gonna tease this as much as they can.
We're just gonna have to sit tight and maybe be severely disappointed.
Keep your pants on, Steve. All right.
Yeah, they're on.
So, all right. So, plenty of other news to get into other than this recap in Raw. So TNA is in the news, not for good, but so TNA. The gist of it is TNA is out of money. They are out of money. They can't get. They're going to have tapings this week. Who knows that's going to happen? They're telling people still come to tapings. Don't believe everything they read online. Okay, but there's this rumor now going around, and we don't know if it's 100% true. We do know that some of it's true because we do know that the Harris brothers, aka DOA, remember back in the day, DOA, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Crush.
Crush, the Heart Punch.
Yeah.
That was great.
R.I.P. Crush.
Remember Crush was a surfer dude for coming in? Bra?
Initially, Kona Crush.
Bra.
And then he turned evil.
Yeah.
And teamed with Mr. Fuji and Yokozuna.
Way back.
Yeah. And then he came back as as Crush or whatever, but he was like a prisoner guy. And then he was a part of
DOA.
No, before DOA, he was a part of the Nation of Domination. It was
yes.
Farouk, Savio Vega,
and the White.
And Crush.
Yeah.
And then they split off into the three factions.
So anyway, these Harris, these guys, the Harris brothers, who were in TNA too, they are known to be Nazis. They're known to be really into the whole Nazi. Was it Nazi? What do you call it, Steve? You know about this.
Nazi. I know about this?
No.
You're the one over here sporting the new haircut, Glenn.
You're the one with the history lesson.
I don't know if you're trying to be a friend. You're trying to be a Bully Ray or
trying to get under
a Harris
TNA
brother.
Stuff.
Part of the neo-Nazi, maybe fascism could be
okay,
it.
There you go.
Or
so
social elite, so to speak.
They do have Nazi symbols tattooed on them. They're known. So they own a company that's been working with TNA, and I guess the rumor has it that if they owe TNA owes the Harris brothers money, and if they don't pay them by tomorrow, that the company defaults to the Harris brothers and they own TNA now.
And it's not like this was all of a sudden came up where last week this company was like, oh, we're tired of lending you money.
Yeah.
Like, this has been ongoing for some time.
Yeah.
Like, so TNA is known for months, so to speak, that this date was coming.
And TNA, we talked about not last week or the week before how they moved to the Shop TNA warehouse, so they lost their offices. So obviously money's really tight. Yeah, mommy and daddy won't give Dixie Carter anymore. Money's drying up. So the Harris brothers would be in charge. I guess rumor has it. There's Meltzer's reporting it's saying it's inconsistent. But there's other investors that want to buy TNA. Now I think this is more of a ploy from the other investors to leak some of this information out, maybe some false information to make the Harris brothers look bad, so TNA doesn't sell to them. And this story that defaults could be wrong too. It could be something more that we don't know about. The thing is, though, it's making TNA look very, very bad because people are tweeting photos of the Harris brothers with tattoos of Nazi Bolt logo, and they're tweeting it to the Pop TV president. And already Pop TV is not happy with TNA. This is a known fact that because TNA has lost their replay following Tuesday night's shows, they had the live show, then they do a taping. They show it again for the West Coast people. They lost the ability to show the live show for the West Coast people at the 9 o'clock time over there. And the ratings are down 31%. And it's not because Pop TV, they're in more houses than February when they came in. And
they added AT&T Uverse.
Yeah, there are more houses in Destination America, which was TNA's previous home. So and Pop TV, Steve is really big into Pop TV. We all know Pop TV is for women.
The lead-in,
Steve.
Pop TV. Okay, so Pop TV does TNA no favors.
Steve, what are you watching before Impact then?
I'm not watching anything because
Soap opera?
I record it, but there's a soap opera, and that is the lead-in for TNA on Tuesday nights.
The thing is, though, for Raw, it's always NCIS. I mean, but Raw is Raw.
Yeah, and that's a bit more of an adult show, too, NCIS.
I do like catching the last 5 minutes because I always want to know if NCIS will ever not solve a case within the hour show.
And they do it?
They always do.
Always do.
Always do. I liked it when Texas Ranger.
Walker Texas Ranger used to be the lead-in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
And then after was La Femme Nikita.
Yeah.
Remember La Femme?
Yeah.
You catch the last.
And then I think it was Psych for a little while.
But I'm talking way back, dude.
Yeah, way
La
back.
Femme
La Femme Nikita.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, I think she showed up on Raw at one point.
Hey, she can show up anytime she wants.
She could show up, walk through this door right now.
Right now. So, either way, it's not good news for TNA. And like I said before, the talent has been told to come for tapings this week, and don't read everything that don't believe everything online. So, if it goes to the Harris brothers, who are known to be favoriting the Nazi way, doesn't look good. And I mean, I'm sure if you're a wrestler that is very passionate about who your bosses are, and if you are offended by this,
how many of those guys were going to walk out?
TNA. I mean, Cole Cabana did have a nice tweet. Did you see Colt's tweet?
No.
When this stuff came out yesterday, Cole Cabana tweeted, I can't pull it up right now, but he basically said, "I will forgive you for your sins if you pay me, big money to come and go in TNA." So I'll have to put it up because I don't want to discredit Cole Cabana with something that he didn't say. But
I mean, what does this say? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, because Dixie, I guess part of it, she still wants to hold the controlling portion.
Here we go.
Go
Quick. Hey, TNA, a nice peace offering to me and my people would be one of those sweet Sting contracts. So, who knows?
Obviously, as a business, TNA is not being ran properly. Is Dixie too caught up on the creative side and being part of the television aspect, whereas she should be focusing more on the business side? Or is she not good enough on the business side and she doesn't have the right people in place there?
She's just using mommy and daddy's money, and people that she does want to sell to, she wants to keep majority ownership of the company.
Right.
She just wants quick money. So you're right. I mean, she is not a good booker. She's not a good TV persona. She probably has no clue. She knows, obviously, with ratings and what they've been doing, she has no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
Wrestling wise, she needs to get out. Something. They need to have a wrestling mind.
And I don't know what it's like backstage. To me, if she wants to be on camera, it should just be, okay, guys, everything is in your hands, creative.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show up because I'm running the business side, because that needs help. But I'm going to show up. You tell me what I'm going to come out and say, and that's all she should have her hands on.
Yeah.
If that's the case, at least to me, because the business side is struggling. It doesn't seem like she can certainly do both. No. And for all I know, that is what's happening, but she's still struggling. But I'm thinking probably not, right? She's probably got her hands trying to get involved here in the creative. And I think we should go this route, and we should push this guy.
Yeah. It's just, and the business side, there's no money. People haven't been getting paid. That's been documented. People left because of those reasons. There's been cutbacks as well. So, who knows what this TNA story is? All we know is that, she needs the money quick. And, hey, by the time this podcast goes up and people listen to it at the end of the week, we could have the fate of TNA could be decided.
Could
who
be.
knows? Someone could buy it and totally rebrand it to something new and exciting. And I don't get this. Why? I'll be honest. I do not watch TNA on a regular basis, but I did sit down and watch the whole show from this past week.
Last week, yeah.
And why is the guy from Smashing Pumpkins on TNA Wrestling?
Billy Corgan.
Why?
I believe he invested some into it,
Okay.
and he is part of the creative.
But why is he on TV?
Because
terrible
he's a recognizable face. That's the only reason.
Only reason why I know who that is because of 1979 video.
Well, that's all you need to know.
So if people didn't watch it, be like, why this old guy? Exactly.
1979. That's all I know.
Gonna buy TNA. Sometime in 20. Yeah. I mean, okay, but it just seems like a potpourri of poo.
So a poopery.
Poopery, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what TNA is, a poopery.
I mean, he's just there because he's a recognizable face, but he's part of creative. He's not the head of creative.
And I feel bad for, guys like, EC3, a good friend of the program. Like he is a guy that they invested so much time into. He's the face of the company.
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler. He's improved. He's recognizable. He's, even if he's a good guy or a bad guy, he's still one of the top guys. And, hey, some of these guys could be out of a job, within the year.
Well, and, it's interesting. One of the things we talked about earlier on was that the Hardy Boys, why are we still showcasing them, and why is this the main storyline right now? Neither one of them even have the title. But I think that goes along with, and again, I don't know that Dixie's the one who made this decision, but that kind of seems to me like that's a decision you make when you're really nervous. You're not going to be on TV anymore. So what do? You're like, we need to push these guys because this is who everybody knows.
Yeah.
And even though that's
safe bet.
not necessarily, maybe it's not safe for your audience at this point, right? Because your audience has already invested themselves in these new characters that you've created and they've enjoyed. And obviously that audience is leaving with their ratings going down the more that they've kind of pushed back to the same old, which they thought was a safe bet. There's guys who write for this, and the head of creative worked for WWE for a few years. So
no, I know, but it just seems.
But that seems like a choice you make out of desperation.
Yeah, and Matt Hardy is not a top guy. Jeff Hardy, look, I've never been a Hardy Boys fan. Not back in WWE. I always thought they were a B tag team, and the only reason why they were good is because of Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys. I felt like they were the third, they were the least probably talented tag team out of those three. And obviously, to come of that, Dudley Boys are well established. Edge and Christian went on to win world titles. And I know Hardy did, but the Hardy Boys just never tickled my fancy.
But kudos to Jeff Hardy for still making cargo pants relevant in 2016.
Hey, kudos to Jeff Hardy.
Or whatever those pants are. Remember those cool
Yeah.
Hot Topic pants he used to wear? I mean, he's still rocking them.
Still
And
rocking
he's pushing
face paint,
40?
whatever it is. And he's
Yeah.
more than 40. Dude.
Is he over 40?
I mean, I think it's 45. I'm going to guess 45.
No, Jeff Hardy's 45?
I mean, they were in the business for 20 years. They started.
They started when they were like 17
Oh,
or 18.
77. So he's only 38. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I was thinking. 38 years
I'm
old.
sorry, Jeff. 38. You look like you're 45 because of the crack, probably. But
Oh, allegedly.
no, he was a wrestler. He was right.
He was, you're right, yeah.
I think Matt wasn't into that stuff.
No. But anyway, at any rate, yeah. Desperate times, I guess. You go to what you think is a safe bet, and that's not the safe bet. And to me, that seems like somebody who's meddling where they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's
like having a sports team, and the owner likes sports and maybe grew up with somebody that was involved in sports, and so they own the team, but they probably shouldn't be involved in the roster decisions. Right? That's the closest comparison I can make.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to say this because I don't want to get in trouble. But he hasn't really said that he's done drugs. It's just that he had steroids in his possession and pills that were, trafficking pills. He had Vicodin. He did have some powder cocaine on him and drug paraphernalia. So that's what he spent 10 days in jail, 30 months probation. All right, so that was back in 2011. So I mean, but I'm still saying. It's these two guys. It just seems like, okay, this is your main feud. This is what you're going to end the show on. It just doesn't seem exciting.
Yeah, I feel like they're at the point, they're in the arc of their careers where they're coming downward, and they should be putting new talent over, which is what Matt Hardy was doing with EC3, and that was totally fine. But then Jeff was out for a long time.
Yeah, it's a head-to-head scratcher. It was boring. I don't get the whole family thing, too. And
can you believe, though, Jeff Hardy is the same age as AJ Styles, and we're looking at AJ Styles, we're like, man, he could have a solid run here at WWE.
Yeah.
And you look at Jeff, and you're like, yeah, he's on that downward portion.
Well, that's what happens when you get put through tables for the first 10 years of your career.
That's true. Yeah.
It has effect on you.
Yeah.
Sucky ducky quack quack.
Oh, my.
So TNA is in a whole heaping of controversy and allegedly trouble. So we'll keep you updated on TNA.
If you want to start a Kickstarter for
Go
TNA
ahead.
to be ran also, though, here's the caveat. It has to be ran by Glenn and I.
You can handle that.
Let us know.
It's all you.
All right, I'll handle that.
I
I don't want to run the Kickstarter. Just TNA. It'll be fun.
would
We'd
just,
run TNA.
Yeah,
We wouldn't run the Kickstarter. Somebody else can start the Kickstarter,
Yeah.
but the Kickstarter could be like on our behalf.
So they're going to kickstart a Kickstarter for us to run TNA.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kickstart TNA.
Yeah.
So there's a Kickstarter for our kickstart of TNA.
Exactly.
Now
Now you're on board.
Now I got it.
Okay.
I think Justin Summers is confused right now.
Yeah. Justin, just start a Kickstarter for This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. And you know what, Justin? If it's successful, you can be part of it.
Start a Kickstarter while you're taking an upper decker.
As showings.
Yeah, there you go. But so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with TNA, but we'll keep you updated as the TNA turns, so to speak, when it comes to that wrestling.
Is that a soap opera joke right there? Because they have.
I mean, it's
because As the World Turns is their lead-in. I don't know if that's what the show is, but
probably not. But
one of those famous soap operas.
I have some jokes too. I'm not the only comedian here. Adam Rose and Connor suspended from WWE.
Speaking of bad news,
both suspended. This is their second time. Their first times were a few years ago. Was not announced, but they were suspended. And rules are, if you get suspended a third time for this, you are gone.
See ya.
You are GOONNEE gone.
Now, do they let us know what portion of like the wellness policy?
I don't think they tell you what
Okay.
it is. They say, hey, they're suspended 60 days.
Because immediately,
See you later.
People immediately assume that it's steroids. Usually in this case,
Wellness
with WWE.
policy. No, it's not. It could be drugs.
That's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
could be drugs or DUIs,
So
things
it could
like
be,
that.
Booker T left WWE because of this reason. He was, they had not a test, but something came up. He was linked to something.
Yeah.
There was no proof that he did take steroids, but he left WWE because he was upset that he was in that conversation and they didn't really come out. I forget what exactly happened, but it could be drugs for the wellness policy. It could be steroids, drugs, anything that's not legal too with putting in your body.
Sure.
So we don't know exactly what it is. Adam Rose has been looking jacked lately too, though. So
he looked jacked when he was Leo Kruger at NXT.
Yeah.
And then when he returned as Adam Rose, he looked
He played the part
much smaller,
of a guy
skinnier.
that's been partying way
Yeah,
too
maybe
much.
he did.
Yeah.
And now, he started looking a bit more jacked recently. Maybe it's a little HGH action. I don't know if that's on there or not, but
Did you say H? Did you say 2 H's or 3 H's?
I said 2 with a G in the middle.
I know there's a story about I think it was Steiner.
Yeah.
They wanted to test Steiner for steroids back
Yeah.
when he was in WWE.
And he wanted them to test Hunter.
Yeah. I'll take Hunter with me. We'll do it.
Yeah.
They never bothered him again.
Yeah.
They never asked him again.
He's like, I'll go take a pee test if I take him with me.
If you get a limo, we'll both go.
Yeah.
Nope. They're like, okay, see you later, Mr. Steiner. We're good to go. But, I mean, hey, Social Outcasts, as far as it comes to booking or whatnot, they are the, comedic jobber group. Then the Ascension has been a shit show since they've been on the main roster. They haven't really done anything. Their NXT run was excellent, but their WWE run is awful. So should...
they have not ascended.
Yeah, so should Victor go in the Social Outcast now for the time being?
Yeah, why not? He's already become an outcast, right?
And if you're Victor,
he could continue he could wear the T-shirt with his little shoulder pads and the makeup still, right? He would still look like an outcast.
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
But I feel what is if you're Victor, what do you do? The Ascension is
what's your vector, Victor?
Do you wrestle singles now? Just a main event? I mean, I'm not sure if he has these past.
Works for the
days.
Lucha Dragons. I don't know.
Yeah, but Victor is. Yeah.
I think he joins the Social Outcasts.
I don't think he will.
Dressed like that, and I think that would be hysterical and would add. That would help him, if nothing else. People would love that.
The Ascension, though, it's too bad because they had awesome music. They had an awesome Titantron movie. And I think their gimmick was pretty cool. It's just, they just never got over. It's like Tyler Breeze. Cool song, bro. Cool gimmick, bro, but not over, bro.
What about he can go back to teaming like with Stardust, I guess.
Stardust.
I love Stardust. I know you.
If they want to
Stardust.
If they want to book, wrestle on main event or superstars, they can do that. Just keep them off the show. Get out of here.
I don't think they've worked him enough.
No, just get him out of here.
Excellent talent.
So those guys were suspended. Some other bad news. Balls Mahoney, ECW original, a man that didn't fit the mold of WWE.
But certainly did have ECW.
Had some great matches, hardcore matches. Did wrestle John Cena on Raw way back in the day of 2006 when they had an ECW that one night only show. They were going to have Sabu come out. He did wrestle John Cena. He lost, but still came out. And a guy that is well respected when it comes to hardcore wrestling and wrestling world. And this past week in Hearts of Hardcore, had a nice little tribute to him. All the past ECW wrestlers and moment of silence. The video I think is online too, and some photos as well. But 44 years old, man.
Only 44, yeah. He was another one who started when he was much younger.
Yeah.
Although I guess not that. ECW was maybe 20 years ago, really in its heyday.
Yeah, 95, 96.
So yeah, he could have been. Yeah, he would have been in his 20s at that
20,
point.
Yeah, he was 19. Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of those bigger guys that I remember watching. Where yes, I know ECW is known for its weaponry and whatnot, but he could move, man.
Yeah,
he was surprisingly agile and could do some stuff for his size. And he was like, Kevin Owens probably a little bit smaller, but the first in that kind of prototype that I think about.
Yeah,
of things that he could somewhat do. He's not doing frog splashes and stuff too much, but there were some things he could pull off.
Yeah,
but just unfortunate. Anytime you hear about this,
way too early.
He had some demons that caught up to him.
Yeah.
It looked like so. Always sad. And, the guy leaves behind a family.
Yeah. Out of the ring, there was a lot of glowing stories about the guy. And a lot of great stories coming out. But, yeah, Balls Mahoney, 44 years old, passing away. And, Steve, it's been a rough 2015 and rough this year so far. With wrestlers passing away, it seems like a lot of good guys going away. And
I'm waiting for CNN and the news stories to just come out again, and it seems like every few years.
You're waiting for it now? Are you sitting by the TV waiting for wrestlers to die, Steve?
No, not for the wrestlers to die, but every few years, you get a news story in CNN or somebody catches wind.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they're like, they've been dropping at a remarkable rate lately. Is it because of steroids? Is the party life too hard and blah blah blah? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nobody ever says, hey, people should not have rock and roll. Nobody worries about that too much.
Don't tell it to Honky Tonk Man.
Well, mixes them together.
Yeah.
Some things you shouldn't mix.
Should not mix.
But
rock
and wrestling, okay.
Yeah. But it's last year was Piper and Dusty Rhodes. This year Black Mulligan, part of the the Rotunda family passing away. Balls Mahoney. So a lot of different personalities, a lot of wrestlers. There's a couple.
I'm sure there's people we're missing too. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of independent wrestlers that passed away too that were. I'm on top of my head, but passed away. So yeah, Raw. As this seems like now that we're getting older, these guys are getting older too, and it's just, every year it seems like a couple or a few big time wrestlers are biting the dust.
Yeah, I don't have a positive segue from that. They are. I guess the unfortunate part of this one is he's not that much older.
No.
Some of these guys. You look at Dusty was could be our grandfather.
Yeah.
This guy could not even be our father.
No. Could be just a friend.
That's right. And to a lot of people, he was.
He was.
So rest in peace, Balls Mahoney.
Segueing into non-WWE news, Steve, you are a follower of Lucha Underground. I'm not really a follower or a fan.
I am. Which, by the way, today being Tuesday, happy birthday to Katrina, who's on Lucha Underground.
All right.
Yeah, Carly Leilani.
All right.
Is her name?
Cool.
Celebrating a day of birth today.
How old is she?
I don't know. You can't reveal a lady's age. I don't know what it is either.
Wiki, yeah.
All I know is, look, doesn't matter. She looks good for however old she is.
All right, Steve.
She's probably in her 20s.
All right, so it's her birthday. It's great.
Yeah.
Terrific.
But anyway, on top of that, so this word came out from Lucha Underground, or from at least the scene recently. MVP, who we all know and remember from WWE and TNA, being less than an MVP, it seems like. Doing his own podcast, as of course every wrestler is these days, and apparently was recording with people who have not yet appeared on Lucha Underground in terms of television, and started talking about their characters and basically revealing the characters before they even show on air. Are wrestlers... I mean, is this... Where do we stand on this? Good? Bad? I mean, is this... I mean, so basically they think that he got fired because of this, which doesn't sit well with some people. If you're running a company, though, and a guy's about to throw out your spoilers, let's say it is WWE or TNA, do you think the guy deserves to get fired?
When it comes to like Lucha Underground, which I think any promotion for this would be good.
Yeah.
Kind of previewing what's going to come up. I think it has to come to the discretion of the company. I think for some, maybe if they're trying to push a new character, someone that isn't known at all, maybe it's okay. But I think if you're pushing a kind of surprise kind of factor, then maybe not. But like I said, I think Lucha Underground needs any kind of promotion when it comes to that. But I think if you are part of that company and you are doing interviews at that location and they're giving you permission to do it, but yet you still kind of break that unwritten rule.
Yeah, you're breaking that wall there. They still need you to respect.
If you still do it over and over, I think that, you have to. The company has to look out for its own self, and if they're not a fan of it, even though it might not, they, in their eyes, promotion could be spoiling, especially when it comes to luchadors and the mask and kind of secretive their lifestyles. Sure. I think you have to go by what the company wants, and I think if he's not doing it, their way, then see you later, buddy. And MVP, I mean, come on, MVP had a little run in WWE, but is he really a big name for them to be like, okay, you can do what you want? It's not Chris Jericho, who does interview wrestlers now. They do kayfabe stuff. They do talk behind the scenes. It's not like Ric Flair, who is well known around the world. Stone Cold, do whatever he wants. These guys do whatever they want because they've earned that right.
Sure.
MVP, I don't think so.
He was a TNA champion, but again, yeah, still.
Exactly, that point.
Well, I guess it kind of brings up this point too. Then, are wrestlers outside of WWE, are they more concerned with themselves as an individual and moving forward that brand than the group brand? And maybe is that why there's no major competitor to WWE? Does that make, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because obviously he's just worried about his podcast. He's not worried about the team, so to speak, in Lucha Underground and what he's trying to be a part of. He's not helping that. I mean, like you said, if this was in WWE and he was in WWE doing this, no way would that fly.
No, not at all.
I mean, he's lucky. I don't know if you can get a lawsuit out of this if you're Lucha Underground, but I mean, to only get fired is decent from him. Yep. But are too many guys podcasting and doing this and pushing their own agenda, I guess, is the question. Well, I mean, that just seems where we are.
I mean, we do a podcast, and what we want most is listenership. Listenership leads to money. Well,
yeah,
not to us, but speaking of that, if you want to sponsor This Is Also Wrestling Show, click the contact on our website and type in your information. We'll get back to you ASAP.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're looking for plays to, for your show, and maybe spoiling some stuff like that would help your listenership, but also give some promotion to Lucha Underground, which it desperately needs. It goes hand in hand, but then again, it comes to the company wanting to do it, and if the company's not happy with it, you shouldn't do it to risk your job.
Yeah, which then doesn't give you a very positive image, I guess, in trying to get more work as a wrestler.
And it's going to decline your guest list because then you can't interview WWE guys. You can't interview TNA guys. I'm not sure if he has.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of loses your outlet for interviews.
I've honestly not listened to an MVP podcast.
I don't have time of the day to listen to every single podcast.
But there's too many. That's what I'm saying. Are we at the point where there are way too many? In terms of wrestlers, Because there's always going to have tons of sports and radio stations, just like anything else.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be tons of wrestling podcasts.
Oversaturation.
Yeah, but is there an oversaturation of actual wrestlers having their own podcast? Because that's kind of why we've ran into this, right? He had to get a leg up.
Yeah, you pick and choose. I mean, there's always going to be a choice. You listen to it or you don't. And I have a few that you have a few, I have a few, and if you don't like it, we don't listen. So I think anybody has the ability to do it if they have the equipment and the means and they have someone with a following. Go right ahead. I'm pro podcast, but
yeah.
People listen to what they want to listen to, and to quote Macho Man, the cream will always rise to the top.
Gotta love the Macho Man.
There you go, throw it in there.
Well, you let us know, listeners. What do you think? Too many wrestling podcasts from wrestlers, or should MVP have been fired? Love to hear back from you guys. Just look up the story briefly if you want. Just basically Google MVP and Lucha Underground, and you'll get that. And it'd be interesting to hear some people's take. I think people will be on both sides of this.
Yeah. All right. This is AwesomeWrestlingShow.com. We not only post our interviews and shows, but we also post news stories, which reason why our website was down for a day because of Bray Wyatt. Thanks, Bray. And This Is Awesome is on Facebook, our Facebook page. Also Twitter, TIA Wrestling. Instagram as well. Very active on social media, so follow us on there. Links are in the post. If you are not on the website, head over there. This is AwesomeWrestlingShow.com. Any gigs you want to promote, Steve, this week?
No, but hey, Glenn, you know what I think we should do?
What should we do?
I think that it's been about 1 week's time.
Yeah.
I feel like a Shoney's has a pretty good idea of business after 1 week's time, don't you think?
I think so.
I think we should check in with our good friend who never answers the phone, Scott Steiner, and maybe see how business is going after 1 week.
Give him a call. Call on Scott Steiner right now. He did answer last week.
He did answer last week. Just didn't say anything to us. So for those of you who didn't listen last week, Scott Steiner did open up his own Shoney's restaurant down in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And if you're on ThisIsAwesomeWrestlingShow.com, voicemail again.
Yep.
ThisIsAwesomeWrestlingShow.com. Again, we do have posted the video because they streamed the grand opening, which Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall were all present too.
It was great.
It's a great time.
It was weird to see Steiner acting all proper, American Dad-like for his opening. And, it was pretty cool. And hey, you know what? If we do decide to drive the WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, we're going to stop at Shoney's.
Shoney's.
Definitely going to stop. So the wheels are in motion for this. There will be a upper decker at Shoney's.
Does it mean upper decker?
Someone's going to leave it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Justin Summers is going to be the man.
2 weeks in a row, Justin Summers is going to be so excited.
He was.
He got mentioned with an upper decker.
Double decker. All right. Like I said, this is AwesomeWrestlingShow.com. If you listen this far, I really appreciate it. If you listen to the episode, we'll give you $100. If you listen to this all the way to the end, just tag Steve Guy into that equation on Twitter, Steve Guy.
Just tag CLE Sound. And ask them about the $100 that they decide to give out on This Is Awesome Wrestling Show.
Just kidding.
If you listen this far.
But you should. Go to CLESound.com, plenty of podcasts if you are a podcasting fan.
And, hey, it's grilling season. So, why don't you make yourself there over to Sears or anywhere you can get a fine grill and get yourself a Weber grill.
Well, no, we're not. They don't sponsor the show anymore.
Oh, no, we're done with that?
Come on, man. We've been done with that forever. Do not buy a Weber grill.
Well, you could still buy one if you need one.
Let's be honest.
There's probably plenty of better ones out there.
Oh,
I don't know that that's true.
My Weber grill, as soon as they stopped sponsoring, my grill broke down.
Amazing.
Now I'm all George Foreman.
Got to go with that inside.
Got to go with the
Get that inside
grill.
game.
Get not the fat out. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. This is AwesomeWrestlingShow.com. Please head over there and leave some comments on our posts. Also, rate us, and subscribe on iTunes. Link is on our website as well. On our Twitter feed, everywhere you need to be when it comes to the show. Really appreciate listenership. We really, really do. We love people come up to us when we're at shows and whatnot, and the feedback we get on Twitter and Facebook as well. Really appreciate the likes and our follows too on social media. So then again, if you're at a AIW show and you see Steve and I, coming up and say hello.
There's a pretty good chance that you'll see me in an AIW show. Usually the guy in the middle of the ring now at this point.
And I'm usually there too, Steve.
I know.
So
I'm seeing you're more hidden. You're going to see me.
I'm there.
Right. In the ring.
People can't miss me. Just look for the guy with a bald head now that looks like he's part
with
of
his SS tattoo.
DOA. DOA now.
Next AIW show, by the way, Memorial Day weekend.
All right.
Friday, Saturday for the JLIT tournament. That'll be fun. Although,
You
actually,
are
before that, I'm
wrong,
sorry.
Steve.
April 30th, Girls' Night Out.
Oh, my God.
It's just the ladies.
You have no clue
Girls' Night Out.
when the next AIW show is.
Well, I don't have to work that show.
We have Gail Kim coming.
That is actually going to be pretty awesome.
And who else is coming, Steve?
I don't know. I'm only worried about Gail Kim. I stopped listening about her after her. She's fantastic. What do you want me to say?
No, you have to know who else is coming.
I'm not announcing
the
them.
show.
I won't be.
Yeah,
on
you
them.
are. You'll be announcing this girl.
No, I'm not at Girls' Night Out.
You're not announcing Girls' Night Out?
No.
Who is?
Probably a girl.
Pedro used to do Girls' Night Out.
I don't know. I just know that I'm not doing it. It may be Pedro, actually. I think Pedro is doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler? She's part of the Four Horsewomen with Ronda Rousey from USC.
Oh, yeah, the
MMA
UFC
fighter.
chick.
I apologize if I said your name wrong. Your last name. Please don't hurt me. She'll be there as well. Actually, it was posted all over social media today that she'll be there at AIW on the 30th. So looking forward to that. AIWrestling.com is the website, but the big tournament is a JLIT 2-day event end of May.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Dan Severn going to be in town. I'm sure there'll be other surprises announced shortly.
That's right.
AIWrestling.com. Will Steve Guy be throwing his hat in the ring?
To be in the tournament, yeah.
Are you going to be in the tournament?
No spoilers.
Are
you never know.
Are you?
You never know.
You will not.
You never know.
Squash match. Dan Severn's going to make you tap.
You never know.
5 seconds.
That'd be cool. Be fun.
That wouldn't be cool. I'll throw the white towel in for you.
Get me tap.
Will you?
That
look at
bad
me?
cop mustache he's got.
Yeah, he would make you tap in 3 seconds.
To Dan Severn?
Oh, you'd be done.
Probably. You kidding me?
Done.
He's the beast.
You'd be done.
He was the beast before Brock Lesnar was the beast.
By the way, nice Blackstreet Boy get up when you.
Yeah, thank you for the gangsta.
You didn't look gangster. You looked like you were a outcast boy band.
Yeah,
member.
yeah. I was supposed to be an outcast, like R&B.
Looked like you were like the
Not-
the 8th member of the Blackstreet.
No,
the Backstreet Boys.
What was the one R&B guys? But it was like the white guys. You remember? Color Me Bad.
Oh boy! All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show on thisisawesomewrestlingshow.com and clesound.com. See ya.